Okay, so I'm gonna start right now with the word boo. Using double-sided dots or tape. And with all my designs, I always start with the last one. So let's say, for example, if my layers are 5, I start with the number 5 all the way until I finish with the one on top. So it's a good way to kind of keep the order on how things are going together, especially when you have a lot of layers. So with the boo black section, sorry. So I have 2 layers that are both the same. I created 2 because I want to add that dimension that everybody likes, uh, same as I do. And for the Weibo, I recommend to use small dots because that way you won't notice them once you place the piece or the layer, as you can see here right now. You have the option to kind of build or assemble the layers by image, if we call it like that, like the word boo being considered as one image, the broom another image, etc. So you can put the layers together before adding the whole thing to the main piece. That's totally up to you. For me, I kind of wanted to do it right away on the main piece so I can make adjustments as soon as I go. I also recommend to start with the word boo because the hat is kind of like a crossing a little bit with one of the O's, so we want to make sure that they are both aligned, and also the exclamation point goes under the kind of like a design that is next to the hat, and those both the exclamation point and that part of the hat kind of combine together also. So that's what I feel is better if we do it this way instead putting the layers together before adding them to the main piece. Also, I recommend to have the design on your computer or your phone or anywhere you have design space open with this design, because with the word boo you also need to make sure that you are aligning the black part according to the design, because as I mentioned before, the design inside of the words of the word boo is a spider web. I don't know if you have noticed. I hope you did because that's the intention that I try to create it when I start drawing the design. Um, so having the design on design space open is very helpful, especially for this word in particular. And I will say that this word is maybe the one that could be a little bit tricky because of that, but as long as you have the design, you are good to go. So this is now the last layer, but if you notice, it's kind of like small pieces all around. So I'm gonna use the transparent tape. I'm probably saying it wrong. I can't remember now the right name. but this is actually vinyl. So this very last layer I highly recommend to do with vinyl because the pieces are very teeny, and it will be harder for you to glue this piece. You can use cardstock, that's totally up to you, but I highly recommend to use the vinyl instead. Also because these pieces are very tiny and it will be hard even try to use the dots. So also once you make the cut with your cricut, you lose basically the order of these pieces. So with the vinyl you have the chance to keep them together, even if you later just place the pieces as I'm doing right now, but you still know where they supposed to go, or to be, um, and that helps a lot. And if you want to keep the word boo without this layer, that's uh, also an option. I just created this one because as I mentioned it before, I wanted to give it a look uh, with the spider web inside of the letters, and that's kind of the shape that the spider web has on this word. You kind of create a focus point on the spider web besides the letters that you have. I think I like this result, to be honest. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. So because these pieces are very tiny, I just decided to use my hands instead of the transparent paper. I can't remember the name right now. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. This the transparent tape paper that we used to work with vinyl. Please bear with me. I don't know, my brain's not working today. So this particular step could take a little bit because we are trying to align all these little pieces. So you can either try to do it as I'm doing it right now with the transparent paper, or plastic. I can't remember. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. So you can do it this way, and then if the pieces are still stick together, not sticking on the words or letters, then you can just use your fingers to make sure they stay there, and then you can push, because even that you already have layers below, it's not a problem. You can still push them down and they will stay together. So cute, right? The spider web shape inside. So now I'm gonna start with the pumpkin. And again, I'm gonna start with the last layer. Also, if you have noticed when you make the cuts with your Cricut, um, design space doesn't follow the order that you may have with your layers. So it's a good idea to kind of double check once you have made all the cuts and compare against the design on design space, so you make sure that the order that you have match the order of your design on design space. With some images it's easy to notice it without having to check the design on design space, but with others it's kind of tricky a little bit. Like if you are working with flowers, for example, or things like that, or letters, then that could be a little bit tricky because the colors kind of get messed up. But it's just because the way that Design Space makes the cats is based on colors. It's not considering like, okay, this pumpkin has these layers, these are the layers that are gonna be cut. No, it does. It makes the cats based on color. So if you have two different pieces that have the same color, then that's what it's going to show up on one of your mats. So in cases like that is when you kind of need to double check to make sure that all your layers are following the order that you want them to have. So now this is the last layer for the pumpkin. And then after that I just have to place the spider on top. And you can see here that I'm using very small dots, so you barely see them. So they are perfect. You can find it on Amazon or any craft store that you may have close to you. So now I'm gonna attach the broom instead, and I will leave the spider at the end. And as I mentioned it, again, I'm starting with the last layer. So what you have to do is, if you have your pieces in order from the first one to the last one, then just flip them over and then you will have the last one on top that becomes the first one that needs to be attached to the main piece. I hope that makes sense. If not, please leave comments or any questions that you may have below, and I will be happy to answer any questions as soon as I can. Just to kind of give you a little bit of news, I will be um, having a giveaway soon, so stay tuned because there is something special that the winner will be getting. I also create some designs for free So stay tuned if you would like to subscribe, so you will receive the notifications and you can see when those tutorials also include a free template or free design. So now I'm doing the hat. Well, actually, I'm gonna start with the exclamation point, and you're gonna see that here is where the two pieces, the hat along with the exclamation point, kind of got combined together. So what I'm doing right now is I'm attaching the exclamation point first, but at any point once I start placing the hat, I will kind of move the piece, the exclamation point a little bit just to make them kind of merge together. Also, this is the first design that I'm making for Halloween right now, but I will be creating more. So keep an eye, and I could be giving one for free also. Who knows? And I also want to say thank you for supporting my small store. Um, I also create discounts once in a while. Well, not once in a while. Um, kind of a little bit often, depending on the holidays or things like that. Just to give you a chance to purchase the designs a little bit cheaper, so you have the option to get a discount. If you're also part of my group, you can get a discount as well. So you can see here that the hat is merging also with the O, and the first three pieces have that kind of curve that aligns with the O, but the last one actually covers the O, to kind of make it look like it's exactly on top of the O. So these are things that I had to tweak once when I'm creating the design to make it look perfect. Kind of picky or meticulous with things like this. I'm sorry, I don't know why. Okay, so you can see here that now part of the hat is touching the exclamation point. So the previous layers kind of merge with the exclamation point, kind of halfway. Um, so that way this very last one is actually on top of the exclamation point, and then now there's this little thing to kind of make the hat fun with a fun look, goes on top, just like this. And this is pretty much done. Now I just need to attach the spider. I made it gray to kind of stand out a little bit in the middle of the pumpkin. I'm gonna add this piece, but I'm not sure. I may change my mind. I probably will. Sometimes it happens that I have created a design, then I change things to make them look better. But for now, I'm gonna leave it like that. So now I'm gonna add glossy accents. If you have seen several of my videos, I use glossy accents a lot. And the reason why is because I like the way that the glossy accents made the designs look like. It's a very unique shine that the glossy accents add, and if you're also using it for letters, add some dimension, which is very cool. For this particular design, I'm just doing it kind of like in the middle, something just to add a little bit of shine all around, especially because it's a spider web. I kind of want to give it that look. So now I have the glossy accent pretty much in all the areas that I want. I just need to let it dry for a couple hours. You can see that looks very shiny. Now the final result. So if you notice, I changed the spider. I added this black section. It looks better. And I also add a couple pieces, yellow pieces to the broom. So this is how the design, if you purchase it from my store, this is how it's gonna look like once you download it. So you can see it looks cute. Some people even mention that look like a cookie. So thanks for watching once again, and see you the next time. Bye bye.